Okay, first and foremost, I want to give all the honors, the praises, and the glory belongs to Yahweh by Sham Yahawashi, Bahasham Wahavaka Kwadash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. His Son's name is Yahawashi, in who I reverence and honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few, the very few brothers and sisters listening and also learning in the hopes of being saved within these last days. And I would like to say Tawadi Yahweh, Tawadi Yahweh by Sham Yahawashi, for allowing me to minister to the hopeful elect in hopes that they will be saved within these last days. All the glory and praises belong to Yahweh by Sham Yahawashi. We're going to flow with the Spirit. This is going to be a variety of topics. And look, every day is another day to get closer to the what? Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi. Every single day. There's no excuses, right? Because if you're not doing that, then guess what? You're going to be like these people. You're going to be useless. So Yahawashi needs to use us in righteousness. You don't want to be like these people, bloody useless. You want to be useful to the ministry. What else are we going to do? What else are we going to do? We might as well serve Yahawashi. Okay? What else you going to do? You going to sell drugs? Right? You going to prostitute yourself? Right? You going to be trafficking these children like these flipping criminals? What else are you going to do? Huh? I want to start off on wisdom of, you know what? I want to glorify the Lord Yahawashi. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse 9. And this is a variety of topics, a lot of things I want to speak about. Verse 10. For they that keep holiness holily shall be judged holy. So we want to stay holy, we want to stay separate from this world. And they that have learned such things will find what to answer. Verse 11, wherefore set your affection upon my words. You set your love upon this, not the things of the world. Desire them, and ye shall be instructed. You have to desire these words, then you will be instructed in the right way, in the right paths, in the right ways of life. Verse 12, wisdom is glorious, right, and never fadeth away. Wisdom doesn't have an expiry date. Yeah, she is easily seen of them that love her. Wisdom is easily seen of them, identified of them that love her. Because wisdom attains to those that seek her. And found of such as seek her, that's the spirit, right? So you have to seek wisdom. She ain't just going to come to you, you have to seek her. Okay? Verse 13. She preventeth them that desire her, or stops right there, right, in making herself first known unto them. So she ain't a whore. She ain't just any, wisdom ain't any type of whore. She's going to try you first. Who seeketh her early shall have no great travail. Right? So if you're seeking wisdom early, you're not going to have no great travail and the anxieties that people have within this world. For he shall find her sitting at his doors. What doors? The doors of your mind. Okay? To think thereupon her is perfection of wisdom. Even to, excuse me just a minute. Excuse me just a minute. To think upon her is the desire of wisdom. Let's read that again. To think there upon her is perfection of wisdom. Just to think upon her is perfection of wisdom. Just thinking about wisdom. Right? That's perfection in itself. Right? Because wisdom is what created everything around you. Everything was created by some form of wisdom, right? And it says, Babakasha, for he shall find her sitting at her doors, to think whereupon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. And whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. So we don't have the same cares that the people have in the world, because we're more focused on wisdom. Okay? And these people, they got all the anxieties of the world. But we're not supposed to be weighed down with those same things, them same anxieties. Okay? For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways. So Sophia, another word for wisdom is Sophia, because wisdom is likened unto a woman. Okay? Showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. But that's if it's applied. Wisdom's going to meet you in every single thought. Right? For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline. So if you want to attain unto her, you need more discipline. You need to be a stoic, not an Epicurean. And we're supposed to be stoics in this truth. That's why I'm out here in the wilderness today, because it teaches me stoicism, right? And to be more disciplined, rather than just feeding the flesh and doing what you want. That's why it's good to get out here in nature and separate from all this rubbish and the rat race. Okay? And it says, and meeteth them in every thought, and the care of discipline is love, and love is keeping of her laws, and giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. Giving heed unto our laws is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption brings us closer to the Heavenly Father. And when something's incorrupt, it cannot perish. Right? Verse 20. Therefore desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. So, in order to run a kingdom, what do you need? You need wisdom. To run a kingdom, you need wisdom. Right? So that's what we have to desire. Wisdom. Because, Lord willing, we're going to be the future rulers. Yes. I know a lot of people don't believe it. What, you? You're going to be future? Yeah, well, I believe that. We're going to be the future rulers. So you're going to need wisdom to know how to operate in rulership. So we're being taught that now. Right? So when we do enter into the kingdom, we're going to have it all perfected. But we're learning that now. And we're also being seen of what happens when you got a wicked ruler in power. Right? You ain't going to have no LGBT in our kingdom. You ain't going to have no transgenderism. You're not going to have that taught in schools as well. All that's going to be done. All that's going to be out the window. You ain't going to have none of that. And if we do see it, there's going to be a punishment. Right? You ain't going to have no trafficking. Right? Oh, another honeypot. Right? They send the women my way because my testosterone's real high right now, my libido. So they send the honeypots. But you're not going to have none of that rubbish in the kingdom. Okay? Let's continue. Verse 21, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, that's our delight, right? You want to be a king, but there's responsibilities that come with being a king. And when you're a king, you need to know about how your kingdom's operating, what's wrong with it, what could be fixed. That's what you need to do, right? I already see, hey, it's beautiful because I already know what I would do. Within this kingdom, I can see what that needs fixing, that needs to be changed, right? See, what this truth does, it gives us a kingdom. It's supposed to give you a kingdom-minded mentality. That's what it's supposed to do, right? So now we're not eating. You used to eat McDonald's all the time. You're not eating McDonald's anymore. Eating McDonald's, that's not a kingdom mentality, right? Now, if you have McDonald's once within a week, that's up to you. But you understand what I'm saying? We need to think higher. If you're the light being in thrones and scepters, you watching World Star Hip Hop. You watching World Star Hip Hop, right? That's low level. If your delight be in thrones and scepters, O kings, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom. Honor that, honor wisdom. Okay? And it says, Baba Kishar, honor wisdom that you may reign forevermore. Excuse me. So that's what we want to do, honor wisdom, that we may reign forevermore. As for wisdom, what she is and how she came up, I will tell you. This is Solomon, by the way. I will not hide mysteries from you, but I will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity, from her birth, and bring the knowledge of her into light. I will not pass over the truth, neither will I go with consuming envy. Wisdom cannot dwell with consuming envy. Someone that's consumed with envy, and that's another thing as well. Within these times, you really want to separate yourself. Pick your friends carefully. Pick your company carefully, right? Because you don't just want to be around anyone, especially in these times. Because people have spirits upon them, spirits of envy. But wisdom will not dwell with consuming envy. Okay? And for such a man will have no fellowship with wisdom. So if you're constantly envious of someone, wisdom ain't going to dwell with you. It's going go right at the back door. Like that song, love don't live there anymore. And it says, a man shall have no fellowship with wisdom, but the multitude of the wise is in the welfare of the world. So part of being a king, you care about the welfare of the world. Crops, land, animals, the poor, the structures, everything, right? How the world runs. And a wise king is upholding of the people. And back in the ancient world, the kings were upheld by the Heavenly Father. They were ordained. It wasn't this stuff you got now where you're voting in the king. Oh, let's vote in the king. Let's vote in Labour and the Conservatives. It wasn't that rubbish. But that's what they done in the time of King Saul. That's what they done because they wanted to be like the other nations. It tells us that in Samuel's, when we already had a king. Right? We ain't supposed to be seeking to Labour. I'm voting for Labour. Why are you voting for Labour for? What have they done for you lately? What have they done for you lately? Huh? What have the Conservatives done for you lately? Nothing. A bunch of empty promises. And whose interests are they serving? The bankers' interest. It's all a bunch of rubbish. Politics is nothing but theatre. That's all politics is. A circus, a clown show. Right? And they all work for the same people, the Rothschilds. They get put in office. It's not up to you. Even your vote don't really count. Because, look, even if you wanted someone in office, that doesn't really count anyway, because it's all predetermined by your elites, who they want and who they don't want. Receive therefore instruction through my words, and it shall do you good. So we got to receive this instruction. Now let's go to Proverbs. Alright, you know what? I want to go to this as well. Bear just a minute. Yeah, we got to receive that instruction. This is Proverbs 1. The Proverbs of Solomon. All the perps are coming out now. Right? As soon as they see me, they want to come my way. What do they want? Go away. Just go away. Just a minute. This is Proverbs 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David. See, they have to come my way. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. Right? To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. To know wisdom and instruction. And to perceive the words of understanding. To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity. Right? So that's what we want to practice, judgment, wisdom, and equity. Verse 4, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. So this also gives us discretion as well. And discretion, that's one of the major things in this truth. Being discreet. So we want to be discreet within this truth. Right? And when you're discreet, right, you're moving correctly, right? You're using discretion. You're not just doing anything, right? You're moving wisely, right? That's part of that discretion. Discretion from discreet, right? You're not letting everyone know what you're doing, right? You're somewhat of a mystery because you're using discretion, right? Especially in these times, you need to be as discreet as possible. A wise man will hear and will increase in learning, and a man of understanding will shall attain unto wise counsel. So we want to attain unto the counsel of who? The counsel of Yahweh, Yahawashi, these words, these scriptures. Right? A wise man was going to attain unto this counsel to understand the proverb and the interpretation of the words of the wise and their dark sayings. Right? So there's dark sayings. Dark sayings are hard to be understood, but then you need to pray for Yahawashi to sup with you to understand these dark sayings. Okay? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. So that's the beginning of any type of knowledge you want. You have to, it starts with fear of the Lord, whether it is little, whether it is much. That's all, it all begins with that. Oh, I better not do that. If I do this, there's repercussions for that. That's fair. Godly fear. See, there's two types of fears. There's the fear of what man can do, right? What man can do and what the devil can do, which is ungodly fear. Then there's fear of Yahweh, Yahawashi. That's the fear you want to possess. You know the mindset we got to be in? You got to be like, you know the Messiah, Yahawashi, you got to be like he's watching you 24 hours. A lot of us, you get caught up on, the MI, what's it? The MI5 and the CIA and the perps and the agents, they're watching me. Don't worry about them. Don't worry, because they're just man and woman, vain man and woman. You want to worry about the Heavenly Father. He's watching you. And his angels. Don't worry about the little devices they got within your houses. Don't worry about them. Right? You should be concerned with what? Yahawashi. You got to be like, he's standing here right now, watching you. That brings what? Godly fear. Because then you're more careful with how you tread, what you say, things you do. Right? But most people don't think like that. If they did know that the angels were watching them, maybe they would think twice about what they were doing. If they actually knew that. So the fear of the Lord is beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So you got a lot of fools out here, and they despise knowledge and wisdom. Right? And because they despise the knowledge and wisdom, that's going to be their demise. Because they don't want to get right. They're in that proud mentality. Oh, who are you to tell me what to do? You don't know me. That faggot spirit, that effeminate spirit. You don't know me. Grow up, man. So what? The scriptures know you. Because that's what mentality our people are in. Being raised by their mother for too long. Alright? Let's go back to the Apocrypha now. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 and 26. Come unto her with the whole heart. Oh, not some, not a little bit. Oh, this is hard work. Bro, I won't put this out there. We do, the brothers in the truth, we do more than you do in your whole day. We get more done than you get done in your whole day. That's a fact. That's a fact. To be able to study these scriptures, get into it, do all the editing, all the hard work, go out there, still come back, still handle other duties. We do more than you do. So I don't know what these people are talking about. You're bloody useless. Alright? And it says, search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. That's what we got to do. Search and seek. Right? And she's going to be made known unto you. Okay? Unto you. Okay? Because we're searching and seeking. And there's a scripture that talks about that as well. right? All the bloody perps coming out. Let me just a minute. Alright, these people, and that's another thing, yeah. These people, they're low lives. They're low lives. When has it become cool to watch somebody else, what somebody else is doing? That's obsession, man. That's an obsession, right? You watching what somebody else is doing. Because yeah, you have potential, you have a light, you have this truth. You are of worth. I don't know what the hell they told you, right? You are the star. You are the star of the show. Well, Yahawashi is the star of the show, but you have his light, so you become that as well. These people don't have no lives, right? Walking about what you. But I said you couldn't pay me $1 million to do that. Watch what somebody else is doing, right? Losers. Search and seek, as she should be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got her, let Slakia has got her, let her not go. Right? Search and seek. Go to Matthews now. This is Matthew 7 and 7. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you shall find. So if you're asking, Yahweh says it's going to be given unto you. If you're really, really, really asking. Right? My memories before I woke up to this truth, I remember I would just cry sometimes, and the reason I was crying because I knew there was more to life than just waking up, clocking into work, setting that alarm, clocking into work, come back, have dinner, pick up the school kids, right? And that's it. I knew there had to be more to life than that. Oh, holiday, Christmas. I knew there had to be more. I just knew something was not right. Right? So what did I do? I was asking, please, show me the meaning of what life is really about. Right? And it says, ask and it shall be given you. So it's going to be given. Seek and you shall find. So when you're asking, it's going to be given. When you're seeking, you're going to find it eventually. Right? And that's what I was doing. I was seeking. Right? Seeking the truth. Okay? And now it's beautiful because now I found it. Now I found it. Everything I was looking for. I found it now. Knock and it should be open unto you. Just knock. Well, you're standing at the door. You ain't even knocked. You're just standing at the door. You got to knock on that door. Right? And it shall be open unto you. And who's that door? Go to John. This is John 10. Right? And hold on just a minute. This is John 10 and 2. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice, and calleth him by his own sheep by name, and they leadeth them out. Right? So Yahawashi is that door. Go to verse 7. Then said Yahawashi unto them again, verily I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. So who's that door? Who's that gateway? Yahawashi. He's that gateway. He's that door. Right? So now let's go back to Matthew 7 and 8. And to him that knocketh, it shall be opened. So now let's go back to Ecclesiasticus 6 and 28. For at the last I shall find her rest, and I shall be turned to dry. Yeah, it is great dry, but you have to put in the work. That's something I want to go into as well. There's people that want to come around you, whether it's energy or whatever, right, to take from you, but they haven't done that inner work themselves. So it doesn't work like that. You have to do that inner work. You have to do that inner work for yourself. We can give you this word, but it's for you to do the rest. Right? It's for you to do the rest. You've got to put in that work. And no, it's not easy. Right? And it says, when shall her fetters be a strong defense? Fetters are chains, right? So the fetters represent the wisdom is going to be a strong defense for you. When all hell breaks loose, when things go wrong in your life, you can depend on what? The wisdom. And her chains a robe of glory, for there is a golden ornament of her, and her bands are a purple lace. Thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and shall put her on as crown of joy. Put wisdom on, right? My son, if thou wilt shall thou be taught, if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent, which means skillful, witty, wise in matters. So you got to apply yourself. Go to James. Go to James. This is James 1, and jump straight to verse 19. Right? Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak. Right? Because you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, to do more listening. Listening is a skill, by the way, because you can learn more. Right? But you can't learn if you're always talking above your... I'm sure when you go to school, you don't talk over your teacher. You listen to what your teacher says. Then you give an answer. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High. Another thing I've been thinking about. Yes, you wake up to this truth. People see you have a light. People see you have this truth. People see that you're somewhat content with what you have. So there's going to be demons on people that are going to try to disrupt your peace. But the wrath of man, it doesn't work to the working of the Heavenly Father. Right? That's why you have to have emotional stability. Remember, there's people out here, they don't have nothing to live for. Right? So they have a certain mentality, a negative mentality. Right? And it says James 1 and 21, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity, that showing off, that vainglory of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word. Receive this word with meekness, humility. That's another thing as well. Humility. Receive this work with meekness. Meekness is humility. When one is humble. So when you're humble, Yahawashi can feed unto you much, much more. Because you're humbling yourself. And therefore, if you humble yourself, you can be taught. Now, if you don't humble yourself, well, how can you be taught? And nothing's wrong with saying as well, I don't know. Nothing is wrong with saying, if you don't know something, nothing was wrong with saying, I don't know. Right? See, a lot of people want to say, yeah, I know that. When you ask them, then they can't answer it. This is James 1 and 21, which is able to save your soul. So this engrafted word is able to save your soul. This right here. This what I got in my hand right here is able to save your soul. Okay? But be ye doers of the word. Doers. So, if you're doing the word, you're action orientated. So Yahawashi is actually looking for those that are action orientated. No, not everybody that's going to be saved is going to be a teacher or a prophet. No, because you're going to have those that are going to be saved in the last hour. And they never done no works. But if it's in you and you have a calling, you don't want to let that chance slip. Okay, so be a doer, because a doer is a sign of your faith. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Right? What did Yahawashi say? I'm about my Father's business. This is when Joseph and Mary were looking for him at the age of what, 12 years old, and he was in the temple. They had to go back to Jerusalem to look for him because he was still under his mother and father's jurisdiction. And what did he say? Don't you know I'm about my father's business? And that caught Joseph off because Joseph was like, well, I am your father. Who was he speaking about? Right? He was speaking about the Heavenly Father. And I'm about my father's business as well, Yahawashi's business. Right? That's what we're supposed to be about. In real time. I believe that's another chariot. Hey, Tawadi, if it is, Tawadi Yahawa, Sham Yahawashi. If that is. Right? And that's another faith booster when we see chariots as well. I don't know, it's moving that one. It might be, it might not. Right? But let's stay focused. Let's go to James 1 and 22. Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Right? You don't want to deceive yourself now. Be a doer. Right? Be a doer. Because it says, and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. You're only deceiving yourself. Right? You're only deceiving yourself. And it says, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man beholding his natural face in a glass. His natural face. So what does it mean, beholding his natural face in a glass? It's your former self. Anybody could just pick up the Bible, put it back down, and let it collect some dust. That's easy. Because Christians do that all day long. They read the Bible. Oh, that sounds brilliant. They feel a good feeling, which is supposed to make you feel good and bad at the same time. And they just put it back down. They don't pick it up. Right? The Lord's looking for doers. Those that are action orientated, that are going to apply this truth to their lives. For he that beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. So you forget. Hold on, you do a lesson, you put the Bible down, you go right back to being a nigger again. Right back to being a nigger. And you forget what manner of man he was. You just forgot what manner of man he was just a few hours ago, a few minutes ago when you were just teaching. This is why this has to be applied. This has to be in you. So when you do put the Bible down, it's who you are continually. You're not faking the funk. Don't fake the funk. Right? For if anyone be a hearer of the word, not a doer, we went to that. But whosoever looking for the perfect law of liberty and continue therein, he be not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the word. Be a doer. And people respect you more because they see you're about your father's business. So they respect you more. Bro, I have people tell me that all the time. Well, I may not agree with what you're doing, but I respect like how you stand firm on your belief. But be a doer of the word. This man shall be blessed in his deed. You're going to be blessed in your deed. Excuse me. You're going to be blessed in your deeds. Okay. You're going to be blessed. Okay. It's about, to the best of our abilities. Look, we're not going to be perfect on this side. But are you putting in the effort? Are you even making an attempt to change? But a lot of people don't want to change because if they have to change, it's too much hard work. Or it's too much hard work. That means you're just going to remain the same. Not changing. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they're just remaining the same. Bloody useless. Remaining the same, right? They live a mediocre lifestyle that's not really real. It's fake. Fake smiles. Fake laughs. People that have sold their soul. So even when you're smiling, you ain't even got a real smile. Your smile's like this. Your smile's like this. That's how your smile is. That's not a real smile. Fuck out of here. Right? You don't even have a real smile. You're nothing but skull and bones. Right? You sold your soul just so you can't look someone in the eyes. I'm just flowing with the spirit. I'm flying with the spirit. And I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm feeling pretty good. We should be. Right? You gotta love yourself, because bro, this is a harsh world, man. That's what I'm finding out. Ain't nobody else gonna love you, man. It's a harsh world, man. Well, guess what? Yahawashi loves you. The brothers and sisters across the world do love you as well. Only a few. Okay? But you gotta start loving yourself, man. There's a lot of self-hate. Right? So let's just flow with the spirit. I hope you're being edified. Those of you that are listening, I hope you're being edified. Right? Come on now. Woo! Come on. Come on. Let me just a minute. Let's see if I can find some good stuff for you. You know what? I want to praise Yahawashi more. I want to praise him for the breath, to giving me another day to breathe, for my food, for my daily sustenance. Right? There's a lot of things we take for granted. There's a lot of things we take for granted. Right? Let's go to Psalms. I want to praise Yahawashi. Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is Psalms 103. And where should we start? Where should we start? Let's start on 4. Bless the Lord, Yahweh, Yahawashi. Oh my soul, oh Lord, Yahawashi, my power, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty. Yeah, the Heavenly Father, he has a clothe. He has a body, by the way. When you read Daniel 7 and 9. He's on the throne, by the way. The Heavenly Father, who you call God, is sitting on the throne. And his son's sitting on the throne as well. And his son's name is Yahawashi. Okay? Who covers thyself with light as with a garment. Right? Who stretcheth out the heavens like a curtain. Look at the heavens. Bro, the heavens are stretched out. Just like this garment. Right? The heavens are stretched out just like this garment. Right? Stretched out. Bro. And Esau can't measure out the heavens. He's tried to, he can't. Right? Alright, the Lord's works are beautiful, man. And it says, "You layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters." Right? The beams of the chambers are in the waters. Who maketh his clouds his chariot. The clouds also come in the form of chariots, the angels. Right? And it says, "Who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind." So the Heavenly Father, remember, he's out of this realm. How much dimensions is there? What is it? 4 dimensions? So the Lord's walking upon the clouds. Okay. And it says, Babakasha, where was I? 103 and 4. Who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flame and fire. So them angels, they're spirits. Yeah, angels are spirits. We are angels as well. Right? But we were brought down to a lower estate. It tells us that in Jude 1. Excuse me just a minute. Because I have to back up everything I say by the scriptures. What angels as well? Jude 1 and 6. "And the angels which kept not their first estate," what was our first estate? "Living forever, immortality, but left their own habitation," right? "He have reserved in everlasting chains under darkness, under the judgment of the great day." What's them chains? The chains is this flesh. Once, bro, we were much more taller. We were living for a very, very long time. But now we're in this flesh of darkness, reserved to judgment. Right? So, when people read it, they think Satan fell from heaven. No, it's not talking about that. It's talking about us, the Israelites, that were living as sons of God. When you read Genesis, I think it's Genesis 10, we were living a long time. Very long time. Now, what's the life expectation now? They say, in the scriptures, it says 121. Most people don't even live to 121. Right? So now let's go back to Psalms. I'm just flowing with the Spirit. Just flowing with the Spirit. Let's go to Psalms 104 and 4. "Who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flame and fire." The angels are spirits. Right? And what you got to realize, when you wake up to this truth, you're opened up to the spiritual realm, big time. When you wake up to this truth, you're open up to the spiritual realm. So we're able to see things that others don't see, right? Because everybody, everybody's a spirit, right? We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. You know that, right? We are physical beings having a spiritual experience. All of us. Okay? All of us. Some notice it, some don't. Okay? And that's what it is. Right? People want to get my attention. Right? So the angels, they're ministers. They minister. Right? Who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. Flaming fire. You're useless. Right? A flaming fire. Right? Flaming fire. How do we know that? Because when you go back to the time of Moses, the angels were a pillar of fire by, what was it? By night? A pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day. You know what I was speaking about? The chariots, the angels, and what's in them chariots? Angels, and I see them every other day. Look at nighttime. Just look up, step outside your flat or your house, look up, and you will see these little black orb-looking objects. They're angels in them. They're known as chariots, vehicles of salvation, and also of destruction. All right. And it says, and his ministers are flame of fire. So the ministers are angels. Yes, they minister. How do we know that? Go to Hebrews. Everything that's written within it, we could back up precept upon precept, line upon line. Them angels, yeah, they minister unto us. Every member of the elect, you do know every member of the elect have angels appointed to them. Every member. Right? I believe it's one or two. Every brother and sister in this truth has angels appointed to them on both sides. Right? Like that song. I got angels on my side. Wait just a minute. Hebrews 2, Hebrews 1 and 14. Are they not all ministering spirits, sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation? So the angels, they're ministering spirits to those that shall be heirs of salvation. Joint heirs. So the angels are here to help us out. You know, when you're feeling down, depressed, when you pray, when you pray, what do you think them angels are doing? Them angels gather up that prayer, and Yahawashi, he makes a word for us. Their angels come and comfort you. Right? Sometimes you can see them at the corner. Have you ever been sitting in a room and you see something move at the corner of your eyes? That was an angel. That was an angel. Right? You just feel a particular presence. Right? That shall be ministers to heirs of salvation. So they minister unto you. They minister unto you. Right? But now, within the Christian church, there's people that worship angels, by the way. I dedicate this bead to the angel Gabriel, and no, you're not supposed to worship angels. Excuse me just a minute. Excuse me just a minute. Because you still got people that do that, right? Excuse me just a minute. See if I can find it. I forgot where the scripture is. It talks about John, when something was revealed to him, and he was going to bow down, and the angel said, "I am thy fellow servant. Don't worship me. I have the testimony of Yahawashi." I got something similar. Right? Got something similar. Hold on. This is Revelations. This ain't quite it. You know what? This ain't it. But the revelation of Yahawashi Mashiach, which the Most High gave to him to show unto his servants, which must shortly come to pass, and he sent it and signified it by by his angel. So John the Revelator also had an angel as well, unto his servant John. So you do know with these lessons we're doing, you know when we wake up, we do lessons, we go here. Who's motivating us to do that? Yahawashi, through the angels. We can't do this by ourselves. Yeah, we have help on high. Right? We're going to shut off soon as well because I want to free up some space and my battery's running low. And I've got some herbs. I want to pick out some herbs. I want to do some foraging as well. All right? And my battery's running low. I want to do some foraging. All right? And it says, Baba Kishar, where was I? And so the angels, yeah, they even help us. The angels even guide us. Right? In all our ways. Right? And speaking of angels, hold on. See what else we can find. Some Daniels. I've got angels on my side. I've got angels flying high. Bear me just a minute. Check this out. Now this is Daniel's 8 and 15. It came to pass when I, even Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, and behold, there stood before me as an appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Alai, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand this vision. So you have the angel Gabriel. The angel Gabriel, you have different angels. Right? The angel Gabriel was known for, the angel Gabriel is known for gathering prayers, by the way. Different angels are known for different things. That Michael, the angel Michael is Micah Allah in the Hebrew. That's the angel of war. The angel Gabriel is the angel of prayer, that gathers your prayers. All right? And it says, and make this man understand the vision. So he came there where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid. And bro, the angels ain't no, they ain't no sweet looking, and you know what, they're not babies. The Esau's very perverse. This man's perverse. He show you the angels, and there'll be some naked white babies. The angels don't look like that. They look fierce. Right? And it says, so he came there, and I stood, when he came, I was afraid. So he was afraid, that means the angels must look fierce. And I fell upon my face. But he said unto me, understand, O son of man, for at that time the end shall be the vision. Now as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep on my face toward the ground, but he touched me and set me upright. So he claps. You see, bro, if you were to see an angel, you'd probably pass out. You'd pass out. Right? And it says, and he said, behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation, for at the time appointed the end shall be. Right? And this was going into basically when you had Persia, the Medo-Persians, and the different empires and so forth. Right? So the angels do minister and help us out. And even that takes a great amount of faith to believe that. You're not alone. Even when you think you're alone. And that's why you have to fear the Lord. Because you're never alone. The angels see everything you're doing. Everything. Everything. Don't think, oh, well, maybe I'm alone. Nobody sees me. There's no, the angels see you. Okay? So let's carry on with this. Back on Psalms, Baba Kishar. Right? This is Psalms 103 and 5. Who laid the foundations of the earth that it should not be removed? Right? Forever. That covers it with the deep as the garment we went is that the waters stood above the mountains. So even the waters that stood above the mountains, that was in the time of the flood. At that rebuke they fled, at the voice of their thunder they hasted away. They go up to the mountains, they go down by the valleys, and to the place where that has founded them. Right? And you can also find water, but a lot of your water is in these clouds. Okay? And it says, that has set a bound that they may not pass over, but they turn not again to cover the earth. So even the seas, they have a bound, they have a measurement. He sendeth the springs into the valleys, which run among the hills. Type in springs. You want to know what proper water is? It's not the water they're giving you today. No Thames water. Bro, Spring Valley water. Springs. That's that H2O stuff. Okay. And it says, which run among the hills. Type in springs. You got certain locations where you got the hills, you got them springs that shoot up about 100 feet tall of water and runs among the hills. They give drink to every beast of the field. The wild asses quench their thirst. By them shall the fowls of heaven have their habitation, which sing among the branches. Hear the birds singing. He watereth the hills from his chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruits of thy works. He causeth the grass to grow. All this grass that's growing. For the cattle. That's another thing as well. You see it with travelers, even travelers, right? The Irish, before they set up, they need to look for a nice place where there's a lot of grass. Why? For the cattle, right? For the cattle to what? To eat, to graze. So even within that, if you set up within a location, you're looking for a location. If you have flock, where they can eat the grass, right? And it says Baba Kasha. And where was I? And for the service of man, herbs, right? And after this lesson shortly, I'll be doing some foraging for more herbs, right? There's herbs out here. You know what I found out here? There's rose hip. You got rose hip out here, right? Red, orange rose hip. You have the blackberries. They're dying out now. You have blackberries. What else? You have sloe, right? And you have. I'm always picking this. What is it? I forgot what it's called now. What the iris, clover. And there's clover out here. These are herbs. Okay. And it says that he brings food out of the earth. Our food is from the earth. Natural food is from the earth. It's not mechanically. Now today, what they're doing, they're mechanically giving you your food, mechanically processed. The real food is from the earth, right? And it says, Baba Kasha, he sendeth the springs into the valleys which run among the hills. They give drink to every beast of the field. The wild asses quench their thirst. By them shall the fowls of heaven have their habitation, that sing among the branches. He watereth the hills from his chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruits of their work. And the wine that maketh glad the heart of man. Wine's good for you, by the way. Right? Wine is good for you. It's been proven. There's different type of wines. If you're drinking, if it's 2023, if you're drinking that Jacob's Creek wine, chuck that away. That's a cheap, bad stuff that will give you a headache. Right? Red wine. That's the best wine. Red wine. And if you're gonna get a wine, at least get one that's about 15, 20 pounds. You get a half decent wine. All right? Wine's good for you. It says wine, right? Excuse me just a minute. Wine that maketh glad the heart of man, cheers you up. And oil to make his face shine. And you have oils as well for your face, right? Different oils. There's carrot oil. What's it? Jojoba oil. All type almond oil, coconut oil, right? And bread which strengthens man's heart. Bread as well. You get pita bread. The trees of the Lord are full of sap. Bro, there's certain things that the doctors ain't going to tell you. You know, a lot of these trees around me have medicinal purposes. The trees, the sap. The sap is in the trees. The sap would be the equivalent of the blood of the tree. That's the blood of the tree. The sap. You poke into one of these trees, sap will come out. Right? I believe they use that for as a rubber as well. but sap has properties in it, right? Here, but they're not gonna tell you that because they have hidden knowledge which they don't want to tell you. Here it is, you're in a big wilderness, you're in a field, and you don't know what's for your healing. Because they want you to be dependent on their GMO stores. They want you to rush it. They don't want you to know these things. They don't want you to know these things. And it says that he may bring forth food out of the earth and bread which strengthens man's heart. The trees are full of the Lord of sap. The seeds of Lebanon which he have planted where the birds make their nests. As for the stalk, the fir trees are her house. The high hills are a refuge for the white goats, and the rocks for the conies. Right? The conies, their main place is Jerusalem. Right? They're very smart animals, by the way, conies. Right? They look like a mixture between a rabbit and a squirrel. Okay? He appointed the moon for seasons. The moon is for seasons, by the way, and weeks. Right? The sun knoweth is going down. Thou makest darkness, it is night, wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth. The young lions roar after their prey and seek their meat from the Most High. The sun ariseth, they gather themselves together, they lay them down in their dens. Man goeth forth unto his work, and his labour unto the evening. O Lord, how manifold, Yahawashi, manifold are thy works. In wisdom thou made them all, the earth is full of thy riches. Bro, you just look at how the earth is, it's full of riches, man. Right? So is the great and wide sea, wherein all things creeping and innumerable. You know how wide the sea is, right? You had them individuals, right, in that submarine. You see what happened to them? You see what happened to them, right? In that submarine, they wanted to go right down, right to the depths of the sea, and they didn't come back out. Okay, wherein all things creeping and innumerable, both small, great beasts. Rare go the ships, there is a Leviathan whom thou madest to play therein. Maybe we can do another lesson on that another time. Leviathan, right? Leviathan would be like a dragon in the sea, okay? Where thou made to play therein. And it says, these wait all upon thee, that thou mayest give them their meat in due season, that givest them their gather, that openest thy hand, they are filled with goods. Thou hidest thy face, and they are troubled. Thou takest away their breath, they die, they return to their dust. Thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created, and thou renewest the face of the earth. All praises belong to Yahawashi, Yahawashi, right? And all his marvelous works. And what we got to continue to do is have faith, maintain, regardless of what's going on around you, and maintain, right? So Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to shut off here, and until the next time, Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.